Good evening, everyone. This is Mary Berger with Computer Diva, and I am broadcasting tonight from Computer Diva headquarters. So, I hope you all had a really good day. Me, not so much. Why? I had to tell a customer today that her hard drive that contains all of her business data that she uses to run her business, all of her client data, all of her photos, all of her documents, all of her Excel spreadsheets, everything in the world that she had to run her business. I had to tell her that her hard drive had died. And I knew she didn't have a backup because she told me she didn't have a backup. So I keep trying to figure out what compels people to take all of this important data and never back it up. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. So I'm going to tell you my philosophy on backup. Number one, do it. Number two, if you don't know how to do it, figure it out. If you don't know how to figure it out, call me. I am happy to help. But I just get heartbroken every time I see a customer lose all of their precious business data because they didn't take the time to back it up and they didn't take the time to know whether or not they were backing it up. They assumed that, oh, Joe Schmo, who lives down the road and worked on my computer 3 years ago, plugged an external drive in and said, okay, your data's backing up, and they never bothered to check. They never bothered to check to see if that 15-year-old computer whiz really knew what he was doing. It was a really bad day, folks, a really bad day. And my philosophy is I cannot care more about your data than you do. If you don't care enough about your data to back it up, I can't care more about it than you do. So, I've kind of gotten to the point where when somebody doesn't back up their data and they lose it all, it's heartbreaking for me, but I can't care more about it than you do. So I'm going to give you some advice. Number one, my backup method, 3-2-1 backup method. 3 copies of your data on at least 2 different sources, with one of those sources being offsite. So let me explain what I mean about that. So the very first copy of your data resides on your computer. And let's see, I'm going to, hold on. I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to grab a few things. And we're going to do a little bit of show and tell. Okay, so number one, this is a hard drive. This is where all your data resides, all of your programs reside. This is a 3.5-inch hard drive and is typically used in a desktop computer. If you have a tower computer that sits under your desk, this will sit in it. This here is a much smaller hard drive, 2.5-inch hard drive, and typically used for laptops. And then I'm just going to reach back here behind my laptop, and I'm going to pull out, this is an external backup drive. This is one of the backup drives I use to back up my Windows computer. I have a separate backup drive just like this on every computer in my office. So I've got my Windows computer, I've got my MacBook, which is sitting right here behind me, and then across the way over there I've got a Windows Tower computer. All 3 of them have a backup drive attached to them just like this. So with that said, 3-2-1 backup method. The very first copy of your data resides on the hard drive in your computer. That's what I just showed you. The second copy of your data should exist on one of these external backup drives. It should always be attached to your computer. It should be set up so that whenever you add data or change data on your computer, it automatically backs it up. It's a no-brainer. Number 3, so that's 2 sources of your data, one on your computer, one on your external hard drive. The third source of your data has to be the source that's offsite. If your house or your office burns down, you want to make sure that you have a copy of your data offsite. When you are running around, grabbing all the photos, the kids, the dogs, the cats, the hamsters, whatever, and you're running out of the house because it's on fire, you don't want to have to stop and grab your hard drive, your backup drive. So 1 copy of your data needs to be offsite. There are lots of different companies that you can use for that. I happen to be using a company called Mozy, mozy.com. You subscribe to it on a monthly basis. I pay $13.99 a month to back up 3 computers. It's well worth the cost. It will back up all of my data. And so you install just a little piece of software on your computer that will watch your computer for changes, and if a file changes or a file is added, it grabs that file, it encrypts the file, sends it out over the internet to the backup service, to your account on their servers, unencrypts it, and stores it on the server. Nobody at the backup company has access to that data. It's built in such a way where it is completely secure, completely encrypted, completely safe. Now, with that said, so 3, 2, 1, one on your computer, one on the external backup drive. Your offsite copy is at an online backup service, Mozy, Carbonite, what have you. Now, with all of that said, I do want to say something about cloud storage. Cloud storage is not a backup. Sure, it's a copy of your data, but Dropbox, Box, Google, Amazon, OneDrive, whatever it is that Microsoft calls their stuff, those are cloud services, and they are designed to store your data on their servers so you have access to them from all your different devices. It's not a backup, because your data is stored in the cloud drive and there's a copy on the hard drive of your computer. But if you delete that file from the hard drive on your computer, guess what? It deletes it from the cloud service. Now, most of these services are now configured in such a way where if you accidentally delete something, you can go into their server, into your account, and you can get that data back. But it's a hassle. And what happens if you delete all your data? What happens if you have to recover all that data from the cloud service? It could be a nightmare. So I do not consider a cloud source, a cloud data source, a cloud service, a backup. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but I really don't want to have to go to any of my clients tomorrow and find out that they've lost all of their data because they didn't back it up. It's becoming problematic, and people, please back up your data. Anyway, end of my soapbox. I'm now going to go back to my office and do a little bit of work that I wasn't able to do today because I was so busy with somebody's backup problems. Anyway, good night, everybody. Talk to you later.